Our mission is inspiring all to discover, learn, and create. And our vision is a model of equity, inclusion, access, and diversity. And when we say diversity, we're talking about diversity of views and thoughts. And that's a problem for us in our great country right now. There are some who want to ban books. There are some who want to censor books. And my philosophy is that if we don't have something in our libraries that upsets somebody, then we're not doing it right. Because we want all views. And that is something that we pride ourselves in. And oftentimes we get a lot of flack for it. But that's just the way it is. No matter where you sit, we want to make sure that we have something for everybody. And I'm a snob a little bit. I don't like romance novels. I'm sorry. But you know what? I'm not gonna stop anybody else from reading the romance novels. I like nonfiction. That's what I like. I'm not gonna stop anybody from reading it. And that goes for all of us. We should not try to stop anybody from reading what they want to read, whatever floats their boats. Our strategic priorities, we want to provide community-centric programs and services. You out at Oak Hill, you over at Twin Oaks, Yarborough, different neighborhoods. Different people want different things. And so we do our best not to do cookie cutter programming. We try to bring programming to people that they want, they would like to see, that caters to them. And so that's part of our strategic plan, one of our goals, priorities. The second one is develop design spaces for community connections. We want our libraries to be suitable for conversation. We oftentimes, these things here, if you're on a bus or anywhere, this is all people do right here. The head down. There's no conversation between people. Most of it is done online, social media, and we are losing the ability to connect with one another. We want the library to be that place for us. And we're going to do our very best to have conversation in our libraries. For people that want to have community meetings, we want our space to be conducive to that. And it's very difficult. Most of our, if you try to use any of our branch meeting rooms, you'll know that they book up pretty fast. And oftentimes they're too small to hold the meetings that we want in our communities. And so later on, I'm gonna say it again, we're gonna talk about what our plans are to address that. There are very few meeting spaces in this city that's free of charge. The library is one of the only places where you can do that. Okay. Along with the Parks Department, which have rooms as well. Third one is foster stakeholder relationships. Those who support libraries, those who give funding to libraries, those who advocate for libraries, we want to build a stronger relationship with them. We want to build a strong relationship with you guys because y'all are some of our greatest advocates, because you all use our branches, use our materials, use our space on a regular basis. And that's what we want to do. So if you see our faces in a lot of different places, just know that's part of our plan. Okay. Expand library access. One of the things I'm gonna go over and talk about a little about what we've done to make sure that everyone have access to our libraries is we did enhanced library cards. We did free library cards to any student in our area. Any student that want a library card, they get it for free. When they go to school and enroll, the parents have to opt out. They get the library card for free without doing anything. They have to opt out if they don't want the library card. So that's one of the things we want to make sure. And then we want to engage our staff. We want to make sure that our staff has the right knowledge, the right skills, and the tools to meet the needs of everybody that walks through that door. And how do we do that? We got to send them to training. We got to buy things that they need in order to do their jobs. And so we want to make sure that we do that on a regular basis. Everybody that walks through our doors, if they don't feel welcome, then we're not doing something right. And I can tell you this, we survey you all every 2 years and ask how the city is doing. We have been rated for the last 6 years, 3, the second highest rated department. Who can guess the first one? Think hard. What department do you think in the city is the highest rated department?
Parks.
Not parks. We're head of parks.
Festivals?
No, that's parks. Come on. Not energy, not animal services. One wild guess. One more chance. One more. Let me hear one more. No. The number 1 rated department is the fire department. See, those are cake wearing.
They're great.
Where it should be.
And I told the chief the other day that we're coming after him. They're at 92%. We were at 85%. 85% of our citizens think we're doing a fantastic job. And I'm very competitive. I told my team, I don't like being second. And so we're gonna go after the fire department to try to meet the needs of our citizens as best we can. So if y'all get a survey and they ask us how we're doing, I need y'all to say we're doing fantastic. Give us a great grade on that. Next slide, please. Am I behind? Our core values. We welcome everyone. And when I say that, we mean everyone. Before we built this building, and all of you all were around then, they said this building was going to be a big old homeless shelter. That's what they said about this building. We took that in stride because we do serve everybody. But we want to make sure the space is welcoming for everybody, families, the homeless. As long as you walk through the doors and we say, you can't do this, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, but you can't do that. As long as you do those things, you're good. As long as you don't disturb others that want enjoyment of enjoying the building, you're good. And that's our goal. We want to make sure that all of our spaces are safe and clean. Safe and clean. Who's been to Buc-ee's? Anybody been in Buc-ee's? I told my team on day 1, I need y'all to go down to Buc-ee's. You go in the restrooms, they're always spotless. Always spotless. The people are friendly. Anything you want, you can get.
You gonna serve jerky?
No, hold on a minute now. We got a
wall of
cafe
jerky?
downstairs. We may look at that. But you go in there for one thing, but you come out with something like, I didn't expect to get that. Every time I stop at Buc-ee's, I say, I'm gonna just get some gas. I'm gonna go in and get me something to drink, thinking I'm gonna spend $10. I come out with maybe $50 of stuff.
That's not counting Christmas shopping.
Oh, I don't go there doing Christmas. I don't do that during that time. Because you would really wreck your budget if you did that. But we want to be welcome to everybody. What we provide, we safeguard access to information, resources, and space. If you use any of our resources, nobody will ever know that. They don't know what you're reading. They won't ever get any information about you. The only way someone can get information on you is they give us a subpoena. APD or the FBI just can't come and say, I need the information on X. So we appreciate that, but we can't give you that information. If you come back with a subpoena signed by a judge, then we'll look at it. But we protect people's privacy. That's one of our main goals, is to protect people's privacy. How we do it? We provide excellence in service and build trust through integrity, accountability, and teamwork. We are always going to be accountable. If we make a mistake, we're going to let you know that. We're going to own that. We're not going to blame it on somebody else. We're not going to blame it on, oh, you came at me to, no. You know, I'm under the mindset that the customer's not always right, but we're going to treat the customer with respect. We're going to always treat the customer with respect, period. And so there's a way of us doing that. And so we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we're held accountable and that the things that we say to you all is the right stuff. You can trust what we say. We're not gonna lie to you. We try to be as transparent as we possibly can when we can. Period. Okay, next slide. We've done that. Next slide. What are some of the top 5 things that we do? As you know, our core business is books. We're gonna have books, period. Come tomorrow, it doesn't matter, we're gonna have books. But these are the other things that we do in our libraries that people heavily rely upon. We provide free internet, high-speed internet to anybody that want to use it. If they have a device, they want to come in, they want to use their own device, they can use it. If they want to use our computers, and most, as rich as our city is in technology, for technology companies, there are a lot of people that still do not have technology in their homes. They still don't. And some have cell phones with services, but it's not adequate in order to do the job that you're looking for. There is nothing. When was the last time you went into a business and say, hey, give me a job application? They don't do that anymore. Everything is done online. Your shopping is done online now. Everything is done online now. And so some people don't have the ability to do that. And so that we offer our computers and printers for them to do that. Our meeting rooms, they are a lifeline for a lot of people. In this building here, we have about 15 shared learning rooms where people can come in and do their business, run their business, meet with clients, meet with advocacy person that's dealing with some issues. They can use these rooms. And oftentimes, if you go around and look at those rooms, they're always full. People need those things. We've seen people actually do radio broadcast, podcasts in our space, which is absolutely wonderful because you got space and you got internet. Wow. We want people to use our space.
Quiet.
We want people to use our space. And it's free for anybody that want to use it. Only thing you got to do is sign up. What we try to do is that you can sign up for an hour because they're heavily used. So here's what we do. Here's what friends do. If they want more than an hour, you know what they do? You two get together. You sign up for 1 o'clock. You sign up for 2 o'clock.
Got it.
You sign up for 3 o'clock, and then you got the room for 3 hours. If you want to do it, that's fine and dandy, as long as the space is being used. Then we provide individual help. One of the things that we're facing in libraries today, and we've been talking to the city leaders about this, is since libraries are open to everybody, we get everybody. The microcosm of what goes on out in our community is happening in the library. And one of the big challenges that we have right now is mental illness, dealing with mental illness. We see it every day. And you hear people, you hear some outbursts. If you're here long enough, someone is going to have an outburst, get upset about something that's small and minor. But we've trained our team to make sure that they know how to de-escalate and deal with those individuals on that individual level. But our staff is not trained to do that. They're not trained to be mental health experts, is what I want to say. But we've trained to de-escalate situations. But sometimes that's not enough. And so what we're looking to do in the next budget cycle is to bring on 2 social workers to help us out in our areas where we're seeing a lot of issues. That's here at Central, at Terrazas, which is right down the street, and then Little Walnut, where we see a lot of mental illness cases, where people need social services. And so we try to refer those out to other city departments or other county departments to help in those areas. We also bring in Travis County to help us with some of those mental health issues for those people that's on site. We have hands-on, we have clinics in our branches so that they can have the services right then and there where they are. And so those are some of the challenges that we're facing on a daily basis. When people in crises, like it got hot last summer, it get hot every summer, but last year was extremely hot. We are a cooling center. When it's extremely cold, we are a warming center. If there's an emergency that happened out in our community and there's no place for people to go, they use us to do that. People think y'all don't do, yes, we do that. But for some, we are a last resort for people to keep warm, to get cool, have some snacks, or to get out of the elements or get out of it for emergency purposes. We're that last resort because we are in every neighborhood. And we're in every neighborhood. And we have the capability to handle it at some neighborhood, but not everywhere. We're not equipped to do that. But what we have to do, and with your help, we need advocacy to let people know that we're doing more than just books. And that's important. Next slide, please. Making a difference. We improve the quality of life for Austinite every day. And I said, well, some of the things when we talk about access, these are some of the things that we're doing. Free library card to any student attending schools in Travis County. We offer free library card to residents in the Austin Limited Purpose and ETJ, which is extraterritorial jurisdiction. They used to have to pay $120 in order to get a library card. And some of our citizens, they can't afford to live in Austin anymore. And so they have to move out and about. And, you know, some of the saddest thing, we get those calls on a regular basis, where a parent go live with their children in a different areas, and they've had their library card forever and a day, and they lose it because they moved outside the city of Austin. Some of the hardest thing in the world when they tell me, I've been a library card holder for 40 years, and you telling me I can't. That's the hardest thing. And so this will help some of that. But if they've moved to Pflugerville or Round Rock, that's a hard one. They still got to pay the $120. What we had truly wanted to do was to give free access to everybody who wanted a library card. There are several library systems in the state and the country do that anyway. We don't do that here at the Austin Public Library. But one day.
What percentage of your budget comes from the $120?
Very low, because we don't keep that money. That revenue go back to the general fund. I think last year it was about $120,000.
That's 1,000 people.
Yeah, people love the service, and that's a combination of some people get virtual cards, which is like $30, but the full purpose card is $120 when you have access to everything. Okay, next slide, please. If you have questions, go ahead and ask while we talk.
So what was the reasoning behind not giving free access to everything?
Because funding. When we do that, that means that everybody will have access to our books and materials, which means it may be a longer wait for people to get materials. And our material budget is not increasing fast enough in order to support that. Some of our materials, our most popular material, you may have to wait 3 to 4 weeks in order to get that. I understand. And you know what we try to do is to buy more materials. When we see that line is long, we try to get that material in. It's still gonna cost. I mean, it's still gonna be a pretty good wait in order to do that. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't open it up to everybody. Because people here in Austin, we love reading. Books is like, libraries is like what we love. Seriously. And that's the beauty of it. But our collection dollars have not met that growing demand. As we said, our city is growing faster than we realized. You know, some want to stay mom and pop, but that's not reality. And it's gonna continue to grow. Our friends from California keep coming in every day. I don't think they're gonna stop. And so we have to learn to deal with that. We're coupled to Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio has 960,000 people. They have 24 branches. We have 20. Our budget is 70 million. Theirs is 120. We have 450 some staff members. They have 1,100. We got to get there.
Wow.
We got to get there. And you'll see later on, we did a strategic plan. We'll get there. Next slide, please. You'll see what I'm talking about. Next slide, please. The other thing that we want to have access, give people access to, enhanced library cards. The enhanced library cards is for those who do not have an ID of any form whatsoever. That's just not our immigrant community. That's not just our homeless community. What we're seeing a lot of people taking advantage of this card are our senior citizens. Most of them don't drive anymore. And that was a form of ID. They don't have that anymore. And so we have this card so that people can use that to show identification. Most of our city departments accept it. Some banks accept it. And it's a user's form of identification for those individuals who may not have it. The only thing it does not do, which everybody asks, can you vote with it? No, you cannot. The state does not accept it as a form of ID. But if you guys can help that at the next legislation session, y'all can give your congressman or local representative a call on that one. And then we offer passport services at three of our branches and one here at Central Library. And we offer passports Monday through Friday. No, Monday through Saturday. Monday through Saturday, I got it. We don't offer it on Sundays. But we're looking to expand at some point in time in doing that.
And which branches?
Right there.
You got Central Library, Ruiz, Spicewood Springs, and Recycle Reed.
Where's Recycled Reeds?
That's off of Burnett Road. Yep. But I mean, we've gotten many compliments on it. You know, the friends over at the post office, they offer it. But we think we offer better service. I'm sorry to
Not
say
saying much.
I know. Somebody say it's a low bar and we can just step over it. But anyway, we believe in that customer service. It takes about 15 minutes to get your passport. You in and out in no time. 15 minutes tops.
No.
Not to get the passport, the
Application.
application. Our friend at the federal government. We get the picture and you get notary service and complete the application. But the State Department is doing a much better job in returning that passport. It used to take, at one point, it was almost, 4 to 6 months.
So do you make the appointment online?
You can make it online. Yes, everything is online.
And what if you live in Round Rock?
You still can use it.
You can still.
You still can use it. And most people that live in Round Rock go to our Spicewood Springs location. Yep. Yep, very good, very good. But that's a service that we offer that have proven to be very popular. Next slide, please. And let's talk about APL and what we do. Our service is about 1 million plus, continue growing. We have 462 full-time employees throughout our system. Our budget is 70 million. We have 1.9 million books and ebooks. We have 471,000 cardholders. We used to report that we had about 780, but we wanted to be true to ourselves. We want the public to understand that the actual number of active cardholders is 471. So if you've not used your library card in the last, what is it? I think it's the last 3 years. We don't count those numbers. So people have a card, but they haven't used it. They haven't used it, and so the actual number that we have is 471,000.
Can you just start using it again?
It's probably expired if it's after 3 years.
Right.
You need to come in and get another one. Yep, just renew it. Next slide, please. Visitors, and all of this is post-pandemic. In 2021, we had 505,000, 22, 1.4, and 23, 2.2. And so we continue to move that needle up. Here at Central, we used to average about 100, pre-pandemic, about 100,000 visitors a month. We're pretty close to that now. We're averaging about 900,000 a month. So we're getting back up to the numbers that we saw previous to the pandemic, because a lot of people didn't come in. A lot of people started using our ebook services, and so We okay with that as long as you keep using our services. Our ebook usage is almost the same as our print books. So it's probably right now about 55-45, and that's keep growing. Those numbers keep growing. The bad part about that is that a lot of people don't know our ebooks cost way more than our print books. And that is because the vendors, and this is not just my opinion, this is industry wide. They charge libraries more because more and more people are using the ebooks. What they would charge somebody else, it may be $14, they're gonna charge us $100 and some dollars. And that's the tough part of our budget, is because they're taking advantage of that. We are banding together as libraries to see how we can address that, you know, from a legislative standpoint, and to start putting pressure on the vendors as well, because we, you know, they know that our customers are going to demand that they have ebooks. They're demanding that, and we want to provide that, but we shouldn't be held hostage because of their practices in charging libraries more than they charge any other individual. So we're going to look to see how we can do that. Next slide, please. Our programs in 2021, we had 404, 22, 984, and last year we had 41,000 programs, almost 4,200 programs. This is how we're getting our numbers up. This is what we're doing to make sure that we are addressing the needs of the community, because they're asking for it. And we're going to do everything in our powers to make sure that we can do that, do just that. Who can tell me what library branch that in the lower left-hand corner there? Somebody gonna tell me what that is. Don't you see it? Nope. Don't you say anything. I know you
I
know.
can't remember the name, but I know what street it's on.
These two should definitely know what that is.
Yeah, that's
What
your
is the
home
question?
library.
What's that library at the bottom left-hand corner there?
The library at the bottom?
Bottom left.
Yeah.
This one right here. Which library is this? No, it's not.
Streets it on.
Mary.
If I tell you that, if I told you,
Mary.
Same name.
that's
She knows the street.
Twin Oaks.
You know, you're kidding.
No, I'm
It's
not.
the
What
back
is it?
one.
Which one?
That's Twin Oaks. This is Twin Oaks right here. So you just do the inside. This is our outdoor. This is the outdoor amphitheater. That's Twin Oaks.
With the parking lot in front of us?
Yeah, the parking lot is over here. The parking lot is over here. The building is here, parking lot is here. If you go through the side doors, or what's that, right here, up this way, you can see that. Yep. Yep, the amphitheater is
Tables
heavily used.
back there, too.
Yep, it's heavily used. Heavily used. Next slide, please. Physical items, checkout, 2.7 in 21, 4 million in 22, and 4.2 in 23. Our virtual checkout, as you can see the numbers, they're almost getting parallel to one another. And that number is growing daily. Next slide, please. Technology-wise, web hit, 18.5. We're today at 22.9. Wi-Fi users, that's people that bringing their own devices into our spaces. 178,000, 21, 413,000 last year. Same for computer use, that number continue to go up, and it's going to continue to grow up. We probably are the #1 provider of computer services in Central Texas. That's what we do. Next slide, please. You asked me, no. We're gradually trying to not ask for everything up front. We try to gradually, every year ask for some, especially from our material standpoint. We ask for 3% every year increase, and the city has graciously done that for us. But we're gonna have to get there. We're gonna have to continue to ask for that. This year, we asking for 6%, because it's needed. To be honest with you, we could use another $10 million in material budget. Right now, it's about 9 million. We could easily double that. Easily double that. But we're trying to catch up. We had talked about strategic planning earlier. We actually did our strategic plan last year. It got approved in March of 23. And during that process, we talked to over 5,900 officer nights during our strategic plan. We want to make sure we hear from the community. And so we did an extensive outreach program so that we can hear from you all. 400 plus staff members participated, and we had 70 plus stakeholders and partner meetings during that period of time. It was about a year-long process. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And some of the things that came out of that, next slide, please. We looked at our long range facility plan to see what we actually need for a city our size. And what the survey told us is that we were way undersized a square footage per citizen, way undersized. And one of the things that they said that we can maintain the current size. These are locations that the survey said that that should stay at the same size as they are right now. Next slide. These are the ones that we should expand or replace at 30,000 square feet. Our largest library right now is 16,000 square feet. Our branch library is 16,000 square feet. That is not adequate for the community or the needs to provide the service that we want to provide. Our smallest library, who can guess? Housing. Housing is about 6,000 square feet. About 6,000 square feet. Housing is the smallest. We know housing made the list, but we know that we can't do anything with housing. It could never be 30,000 square feet. It's landlocked and we cannot go up. Next slide, please.
Thought about talking to that lady who owns the shopping center?
Of course we have. Right now, you got to take a little more prying and begging. But some like the library the way it is, and we'll keep at it. But what the long range plan is for us to build 4 new 30,000 plus square foot libraries, and model it similar to this one, provide the same type of services that we have here. And that's in the far northwest, far northeast, far northwest, far southeast, and far southwest. Those are some of the most growing areas of our city. And more people are moving out from the core, out to those outstretched areas. And so that's where we need to go. Hopefully we'll have a bond in 2026. Normally our bond cycle run every 6 years. This year it did not take place. I mean, yeah, this year we were hoping that the bond would come up, in 2013 last year. But that did not take place because we have so much money unspent in bond dollars. The city does. And so we didn't want to add additional money on the board when we're not spending the money that we have. Now, I can tell you this, the library spends its bond fund. I want you to know that we spend ours. There's some bonds on the books from 2006. And it's hard to spend that money. There's a lot of things that causes that. But the city is in the process of streamlining a lot of the work that we do to get every project done in 5 years. Okay. But those are the 4 new ones that we're looking at. Next slide, please. Now, what we're going to need is we're in the process of getting funding for a feasibility study for those branches expansion. Next is going to be part of the bond development process, and then cost to reduce those items. Where we are truly going to need some help when we come to our bond is to recognize that the library is in desperate need. We are not keeping up as our counterparts across the country. We're just not keeping up. And most when we first started building our buildings, we've had them in shopping centers, and then we gradually got out of the shopping centers and we built average of 8,000 square feet buildings. That's just not adequate today for what we need. We get pushed to the limit when it comes to people, and we have programs at Oak Hill. Who's at Oak Hill again? Who's at Oak Hill? You at Oak Hill, Hampton? If you go out there, when we have story time, good luck with parking. You would never get a parking space. And that's almost on a weekly, daily basis. And so, you know, we're not keeping up with the needs of the community. We want to make sure that we want to be able to do that. Next slide, please. And that's our group right there. Those are the best employees in the city. And I'm not being biased, just a little bit, but I'm being honest. I believe that's the best set of staff members in the whole country. And I'll put that staff against anybody in the country when it comes to library services and providing library service. That group right there. That's about 400 of us right there, all in one place. And that was during our staff development day. During staff development day, we try to make sure that everybody gets the training that they need, get a chance to do a little camaraderie, fellowship, and look at each other. We don't get a chance to do that because everybody's spread out so far. But that's it, guys. Any questions?
Are the branch libraries open 7 days a week?
No. Most open 6 days a week. There's 6 of our branches that's open on Sundays. That's Ruiz, Cepeda, Manchac, Little Walnut. Help me here. Who else we got? Spicewood Spring, and here. Those are the ones that's open on Sunday, but they only open on Sundays from 1 to 5.
Question unrelated. What's the status of the Austin History Center?
Good question. We are still in the process of renovating that. We should be done with some of the expansion into the Falk building
All right.
because we didn't have enough space in the History Center. And so we're moving all of that into the Falk building where we have 2 floors where we can put our archival material. And so hopefully by end of the year, my facility person told me, do not give them a specific date. So he told me the fall, winter of 24, the end of this year.
Is it open currently, the old one?
It's not.
So it's closed on
It's
weekly?
by appointment only. By appointment only.
Hello?
Mentioned people like to use their computers to shop, for one thing.
Mhm.
What's the security like if someone wants to either use the library computer or use their own? Is there any security at all for shopping?
It is. And what we do is everything is secured to that one machine right there. And we use the same security measures that we use on our own personal computers. And when you leave, when you log off of that computer, everything gets wiped clean. And you never know who used it. Any information that you put in there is now gone.
We have a question from a Zoom loop. What's your question, Gail?
Hi, thank you. Well, this has been very interesting and sorry I couldn't join you today, but just a quick question. I know you have a special section on cookbooks, correct?
Cookbook section?
Yes, we do.
All right. I'd like to be able to follow up with you later and maybe get a connection. My mother died over 20 years ago and bless her heart, she left me over 4,000 cookbooks.
Yes, connect with me afterwards. Connect with me after this.
And they've been in air-conditioned storage, and some of them go back to the 1919s, 20s, 30s, whatever. I'd like to talk to somebody about donating a collection. So I'll be in touch with you. My name is
Please
Gail.
do. And Laura will give you my contact information, and we will have someone to come see you as soon as possible.
Well, I mean, it's in a storage unit, and I've been paying $150 a month for 22 years.
Oh, my.
So,
Yeah,
but there's
we're gonna
some
see if we can
cool
help you with
books.
that
I
problem.
mean, you know what I love about cookbooks? I love that it's not the recipes. It's looking at the recipes that you think are current. They're 100 years old, you
Yep.
know, and the style of graphics and the language. Cookbooks tell so much about the culture.
Yes,
I
it
think
does.
it's really a fascinating genre, if you will. So, Laura, if you will put that in chat, or I'll find a way to connect with you. But I'd love to
Let me look at.
talk about donating those and getting them off my.
I got you, Gail. I see you.
Okay, thanks.
That's absolutely wonderful, and that's very generous of you to even offer that. But we would definitely have someone to get with you, to see how we can, work with you to take those books from you.
All right,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Gail.
thank you.
Anyone else have a question online, Gail or Arnie?
This has
Okay.
been great. This has really been great and very informative. And how do you get to be like, I mean, I'm Corey. I'm Corey. How do you get to be, I mean, I'm assuming you have social media and all of that.
Yes.
So I guess we need to follow that. You know, the senior citizens, we don't do that as much as the younger group, but
We can help you with that. We can give you every contact, if you want to receive information from us on a monthly basis, we can do that as well, so that you can stay on
I
contact.
do email. Yeah. Okay,
We
that's
can definitely
great.
do that as well. And Laura will provide that information to you as well.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I just want to compliment you on Old Quarry, which is my library,
Mhm.
because they go out of their way to help me who is computer challenged. So I just called them up and asked them for something like I wanted the material to be able to send in my taxes.
Yep.
And I said, I'm just barely driving, and this wonderful person got everything together, gave me 2 copies, and she said, well, just call me when you get here, and she came out to the car and gave me everything. And so I really appreciate that. And for
Excellent.
years, when I was younger, I ran a cultural exchange program for high school students. And my favorite place to hold an orientation for the kids was at Old Quarry Library, and they were
Excellent.
always wonderful. So,
Excellent.
thank you.
Thank you for that. I will let, Julie Brown is the manager there. I will let her know that you said that about her staff. I will definitely let her know that. Definitely let her know that.
I've learned to really love the electronic services. We have 2 though, Libby and Wonderful. Is that correct? I can't hear you.
Can you speak up?
What's the difference between Libby and Hoopla?
Libby give you access to our material, our ebook material, all our electronic material. Hoopla is a service that we offer that do movies, television show. It's a different service, and it's all free. Let me ask, what's come here, come here. Yes, you. What's that?
Overdrive.
Introduce yourself to these young people in here.
My name's Katie. I'm one of the library assistants.
Can't hear you.
Okay, my name's Katie. I'm one of the library assistants in circulation, which is mostly on the 2nd floor, but also throughout the building. We're the ones who shelve the books, take back your returns, make your cards, all that. I'm gonna lead y'all's tour later.
Katie, this group had a question. I'm gonna see if you can answer this question.
I've been listening. I've been eavesdropping.
Wait, well, you gotta get this one. What's the difference between Libby, Overdrive, and Hoopla?
So Libby and Overdrive are the same thing now. Overdrive used to be the name of it, then they rebranded it into Libby. So Overdrive, if you used to use that, it's now Libby. It's the same thing. Libby is mostly going to be ebooks and audiobooks, magazine access as well. It's all virtual. You can see it in a browser, or you can do it on an app on your iPod or iPhone, iPad, any of that. So that's ebooks, audiobooks, and magazines. Hoopla is more digital content. So you're going to see movies and films, documentaries, TV shows, all of that. And that is, Libby is basically just like access from your library card. So you can have, I think, up to 15 things checked out and up to like 7 things on hold at a time. Hoopla works differently. It just changed. So you have a certain number of checkouts per month that you can do, whereas Libby is as soon as you return something, you can check something else out. But yeah, Hoopla's digital content. And then the bonus one is Canopy, which is a 3rd one that is similar to Hoopla in that it's mostly digital, like media content as well. But yeah, so this is a bonus one for you.
Did I not tell y'all we got the best staff in the world? Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Right.
Anything else?
What are you doing with that, the restaurant or that coffee shop or whatever?
We're trying to get a vendor in there now. We've been working for about a year now to get someone to come in. It takes a minute when you're working with the city on doing certain things. And so we're being patient. We're being patient. Hopefully
Is the health department's involved in all that?
no, not
Nope,
yet, not
Not
yet.
yet.
This is
But
all
we'll-
real estate and
Okay.
purchasing. So hopefully we have something in there soon,
Okay,
soon. Anything else?
How long have you been with the APL?
It'd be 7 years on September the 19th.
Mm.
And I'm just thrilled to be here like, oh, like a child in a candy factory.
Where were you before that?
I was at the Houston Public Library. Well, I was the deputy director. I was there for 11 years. Yep. But this is my home and I absolutely love it.
Who do you report to?
I report to the assistant city manager, Stephanie Hayden Howard. That's my boss. That's who hold me accountable along with you all. Anything else? Y'all have been wonderful. Lord, thank you so much. And thank you all. I'm going to put y'all in the capable hands of Katie. And Katie gonna show you this wonderful building. And take your time and get around it. How many have been to this building before? I've seen most of you all. I've seen most of you. How many of you all been to the 6th floor?
The garden up there?
Yes,
Yeah.
rooftop. Absolute breathtaking on a day like this. And I always taught our rooftop garden is probably one of the only free places that you can go see our great city. Every other place around here, you either have to live in the building or you have to pay to get up there. Here is free. You come any day of the week and see the beautiful space. Ladybird Lake, you got a great view of Ladybird. It is